Hi friends, welcome to AWS Devops sessions. In this session, we are going to learn about Docker Compose. Here, we are going to learn what is Docker Compose and where we are going to use this Docker Compose. Everything we are going to discuss in this session. First of all, we just need to understand what do you mean by Docker Compose. Here, if you see here, the Docker Compose is a tool which is used for defining and managing multi-container Docker application. In general terms, we can say it is used to build, run and ship multiple containers at a time for an application. Like if I want to run multiple containers for an application in a single server, I am going to use the Docker Compose file, the Docker Compose concept. Here earlier, if we observe the Docker Swarm, what the Docker Swarm has do, it is going to run the same service over the multiple containers which are running over the different servers. But coming to Docker Compose, it is going to run the multiple containers or services for an application in the single server. This is the basic difference between Docker Swarm and Docker Compose. But coming to the advantages when I'm going to use the Docker Compose, it is going to make my task easier. I can easily able to collaboration. It simplifies the development process by allowing developers to define the entire application environment in the single file. It is making easy the process. And at the same time, in order to describe the services and in order to make the dependencies in the file, what I'm going to use here, I'm going to use the YAML file to describe the services and their dependencies. Whenever I had executed that, automatically what are the things which are required to run the services for an application, it is going to deploy over the server. How that will be done? Everything we are going to discuss in detail in the practical session. And what are the key features and benefits which I get by using the Docker Compose? It makes the deployment faster and it is improved scalability. Means whenever I have the requirement, it is going to increase, and whenever there is no demand, it is going to decrease. It is going to maintain the scalability and enhanced portability. It is provide allows you to package and run application on the different environments with minimal effort. Means there are no such major efforts are required because of all the things are included in the single file. It is make very easier in order to run the application. Simply by executing the single command, it is going to up the all the services which are required to run your application. And if you see here, I'm going to mention simple Docker Compose file where we are going to run. So simply we are going to mention which version I'm going to use and services. Here if you observe here I'm going to use the services. Right now I'm going to use the web service. Here I'm going to use the image Nginx latest. Means what it is going to run, it is going to start the services by using the image Nginx and it is exposed to the port 8080 and it is going to use the DB. Here it is the DB. It refers to the DB. Where the DB is, here it is the DB. Here I'm going to use the DB is nothing but database. Image, it is going to pull the image MySQL. That is the latest version. And environment, MySQL underscore root underscore password is equal to password. If I want to set the password, here I can be able to set the password. In this way, whatever the things which are required, I am going to mention in the Docker Compose file. Accordingly, it is going to deploy the entire application by running the multiple containers in the single server. So if you want to understand in a better way, I am going to make the practical session on it. Then you will have the better understanding how the process is going on, everything. So build the deploying and manage applications. So everything means the Docker Compose build. This is the basic commands. If you want to build the docker-compose build to build the images, and if you want to start the services, docker-compose up. By executing this simple command, it is going to start all the services. And if you want to scale the services, the command is docker-compose scale. Web3 means it is going to create the 3 missions. In this way, we can be able to monitor, we can be able to logs, we can be able to troubleshoot, everything we can be able to do. What are the things which are related to the which are related to run the application. So in order to understand, I am going to log on into the AWS console to make the practical session on it. I am going to log on into the AWS console and just click on the first link. Just click on sign in console, and as it is directly logged into my page because of I had made earlier login. So click on the EC2 dashboard. Right now I'm going to start from the scratch level. Just please have a look on it, how I'm going to do everything. So click on launch instance. I am going to launch one EC2 instance. So in order to run the multiple containers for a single application, here I am going to use set the name docker compose, and here I'm going to use the Amazon Linux 2. At the same time, the instance type I'm going to use is T2 micro. As usual, it is free tier eligible, and I'm going to use the key pair one key one, which is already lies on my desktop, and I'm going to use the existing security group, Docker security group. It is going to allow all the traffic, and I'm going to use the instead of 15 GB, instead of using 8 GB, I'm going to make use 15 GB to root volume. And just now I have only one server is required. Just I'm going to create the one server only. Click on launch instance. It is going to launch the EC2 server soon. In the meanwhile, I'm going to open the SSH client, that is nothing but mobile XTOM, in order to connect to the mission which I had created in the AWS console, and click on start local terminal. It is going to open the terminal. Once the terminal has been opened, just change the path where the key pair resides. Here my key pair resides on desktop key pair. Enter. Just open the AWS console. It is going to yes. The just if you check the status, it is still initializing state only. It will take some time to get it effectively available. In the meanwhile, I am going to connect to the mission and click on connect and go to SSH client. Just copy it and paste here. Just check whether you will be able to connect to the mission or not. It is asking yes, yes. Will you be able to connect to the mission or not? Still it is taking time. Just wait for a second. It will be automatically connected to the AWS instances. Yes, successfully I can be able to connect to the EC2 server. The name of the EC2 server is Docker Compose, and if I want to log in as a root user, sudo -i. It is the command to log in as a root user. Right now there is no Docker services running because of just now I had created the service. In order to install the Docker package, what is the command? Yum install docker-y. It is going to install the Docker service on your machine. And once the Docker package has been successfully installed, what the thing you need to perform? You just need to start the service of Docker. Without restarting the Docker server, you can't be able to use the Docker service. And once it has been successfully started, we need to check. So the command to start the Docker service is systemctl start docker. Enter. It is going to start the Docker service, and if you want to check the same whether it is started or not, just make sure docker systemctl status docker. Here it is showing active and it is currently running state. So successfully I had installed the Docker service and it is in the currently running state. So here my requirement is I just want to make it as a Docker Compose. In order to run the Docker Compose file, first of all I just need to download some plugins which are related to the Docker Compose. Here I am going to mention step by step what the thing you need to run over the server. Just make the commands, copy here, copy and paste here. Enter, and again go back. Just copy the second command, paste here, enter, and again copy the third command, paste here, enter. Just see the error. It is sudo is not recommended. So just do one thing. Simply by eliminating the sudo, executing this. Yes, it has been executed. And right now the final step is to check the Docker Compose version. We have successfully installed the Docker Compose. We just need to check the version which I had installed. So if you Docker Compose version, Just check which version you had installed. Right now I had installed the Docker Compose version of version 2.32.1. It is the version I had installed on my Docker Compose server. So the prerequisite is done. So what I need to do furtherly. So here I am going to make one project directory. The name of the project directory is compose test. So I am going to test the compose file. So that's why I am going to make the name of the project as compose test. So in order to make a directory, what is the command? Mkdir. The name of the directory is compose test. Enter. And change the directory to just press LL in order to check whether the directory has been created or not. Just check that the compose test directory has been successfully created. Just make enter into the directory. Just make com tab. Automatically it is going to reflect to you. Just enter. Then you had changed your directory to the project directory. The name of the project directory is compose test. Here you just need to create some files. What the files I am going to show to here. Here what I am going to do is I am going to deploy simple Python application. When I am trying to access that application, it is going to display one message. Hello world. How many times I had accessed this website, that many times it is going to trigger the count. So here, in order to deploy the sample Python application, I am going to create app.py. What is the Python? Suppose if you are going to the Terraform files, extension is .tf. For Python files, the extension is .py. So here I am going to create vi app.py. Here app.py, enter. So just press the insert mode in order to enter into the file, in order to make the file editable mode. So copy the content. Here just copy this, copy, here login. Okay. Here if you observe, it is going to run here it is the Python code. So what the output I will get if I try to access the website which has been developed over the Python, sample Python program. I am going to get the output as hello world I have seen. So how many times you have refreshed your browser, that many hits it is going to show here. So just click escape. In order to exit from the file, just press semicolon WQ. In order to save and quit from the file, enter. Successfully I had created the app.py file and inserted the content. And here I need to create some more files. One of the file is vi requirements.txt. Just here copy, yes, and again press the insert mode I. If you press the I, automatically it will move into the insert mode. So copy what we have in the Flask and Redis. Copy here, paste. Okay. Escape semicolon WQ. Exit from the file. So here the main thing has been started. I am going to create a Docker file. The command is vi docker docker file. As you know, the starting letter of the Docker file is always caps lock. And what is the purpose of Docker file? It is used to automate the image creation. Whenever I had executed the Docker file, it is going to create the image. Whatever the things which I had mentioned over the Docker file, by using the same components, it is going to create the image. Once the image has been successfully created, based on that image, I am going to create the containers. Okay. Here, what are the content? Here, just copy the content here, copy, paste. Okay. Here, if you observe here, the first comment has been commented. Commented means it is not going to execute. Here from the what is the starting from, which is the base image we are going to use. Here I am going to using the Python 3.10 Alpine image. From the in this image, what I need to perform? Here it is going to set the working directory as code. It is going to set working directory as code. Code is the working directory in this image. And environment. Here if you observe the environment, Flask underscore app, it is going to refer the app.py. means the application code has I had written on the app.py. So that's why it is going to refer to this file. Whenever it is going to show this file, it is automatically search for the app.py file as it is already right in the project directory. So it is going to execute this app.py. And environment, it is going to flash underscore run host, and it is replicated 0.0.0. It means it is going to run over the internet. And copy, here the copy module is used to copy the content from the local to the image. Here requirement.txt file or directory, it's a text, it's not a directory because of it is a text file. It is available where it is available, it is available on my project directory only. It is simply copy the things which are available in the requirement.txt to the image, and it is run, it is going to install. Run is used to run the commands while the image creation. It is going to install the pip package, Python install packager, and the container will be exposed to the port 5000. So by executing this Docker file, it is automatically create image. So escape semicolon WQ, and if you type here LL, right now I have the 3 files. So I need one more file which I need, that is the main file. Here I am going to create compose file, vi compose.yml, vi compose.yml. This is the main file. By simply executing this compose file, it is going to build, it is going to up the service each and everything. So here I am going to simple, I am going to use the simple script in order to do not to make it complicated. Just press I in order to enter into the insert mode. Okay, here what it is going to do, here it is going to run the services, and which service it is going to run? Web services, and the ports exposed is 8000 5000, and the image is Redis Alpine. So from where I will be getting the image? Did I have any image? No. So once I'm going to execute the command docker compose up, it is going to run the Docker file. Once the Docker file has been executed, it is going to create the image. What are the image which has been created by the Docker file? The same image has been used by this compose file. And once it had created the container, in order to run the services, it will be exposed to the port 8000, and the first stands for container port number, and the second here 5000 stands for the service port number for the image. Here just press escape semicolon WQ. If you right now you are in the project directory, the name of the project directory is compose test. Here if you type LL, in order to list the files, right now I have app.py file where my Python code resides, and compose.yml in order to run the, in order to up the services, and Docker file in order to build the image, and in order to build and create the image, and requirement.txt, and it is the file, it is providing the dependencies. Fine. So what is the command to run the, to up the services? Right now just check docker ps -a. Did I have any containers? No. Docker images. Did I have any images? No. There are no images. There are no containers which are currently running in the server. But whenever I had executed the command docker -compose up, it is going to create each and everything which are required to run my application. It is going to create the containers. Here I am going to press enter. Just check whether it is going on or not. Yes, it is simply going on. Just check. So everything, whatever the thing, it is going to build image, it is going to create the containers, it is going to run the application. So once everything has been done, I am going to show it to you. And here it is going to see control C to quit. Okay, control C. Fine. LL. So if you type here docker ps -a, there are, earlier we don't have any containers, but right now we have the two containers, but both are in the exit state. If I want to make it on docker start, this is the container ID and this is the container ID. Enter. It is going to start the both the containers. If you executed docker ps-a, yes. If you check, the both containers are in the running state only, and I had successfully deployed my application and over the container by using the Docker Compose. So I just want to check whether the application is successfully running or not. How I can be able to do that? So here, just go to the instance and check the public IP and mention 8000. Just check. Okay, enter. It is going to redirect to the page. No, here it must and should. So sometimes it may take time, but definitely surely it is going to show out to you. Had to check. The Docker Compose web is already in the running state, and just a moment, it is 50 seconds ago, and just now it has been up. So it is going to use the 8000 port. Okay, no worries. Here, it sometimes it is taking time. So, but surely it is going to accessible. Just wait for some time, and here I am going to open some new Indigo tab. So here I'm going to paste 8000. I'm going to check whether continue to the site. Yes. Had I observed this content? Hello world, I have been seen one time. But if I refresh again, if I hit again, it is going to change 2. Just check. Has it changed or not? Yes. If I am going to refresh again, it is going to see 3. Is it showing or not? If I am going to refresh it, it is going to show 4. Yes. How many times I had hit the website, that many times it is going to show the number. So means here I am successfully able to run my Python application over the containers by using the Docker Compose. In this way, we can be able to run multiple containers for an application in the single server by using the Docker Compose. This is the beautiness of Docker Compose. Hope you guys understood my session. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I hope you guys enjoyed my session, and I'm asking you, please subscribe my channel, and do not forget to subscribe my channel, and at the same time please hit the bell icon. Whenever I had uploaded any kind of new content, automatically you will get a notification in order to watch the same. And at the same time, please share with your friends who are looking to enhance their career in the cloud technologies and DevOps. And thank you so much guys for watching my videos and for your support. And I will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you. Bye bye.